Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to ETF2L Season 42, Week 2, with a very rare triple header that's actually being covered. It's the matchup between League of Shadows and one of the French teams, For Fence. I'm Surny, joined by Wiethoofd on the production and DuMmTm on the mic. How's it going, bud?
Pretty good. Yeah, who would have thought French land brought all the French people back into Premiership all at once in two full French teams and two very mixed French rosters as well, so should be an exciting one here. Last week's matchups were all fairly close for the most part, so expecting big things for this match too.
Yeah, I feel like this match, just looking, like, I had a look at the rosters. I didn't follow last week all that closely. I just looked at the results, but just given the rosters, given the mixes of rosters and players we have here, this could be a pretty even matchup. It could be a pretty interesting matchup to see. I feel like it could go any way, and it's hard to say stuff like this in the second week, but it could already have like maybe playoff implications as well. Like which one of these two might be able to snag that fourth place at the end of the season.
That's going to be a very tight race here. You can see the tables in front of you. It doesn't mean too much at the moment, but you can just vaguely see who played who got which results here, who is up top for now. League of Shadows did come out victorious in the game over Spirit Devils. It was a bit of an awkward one, but a very competent win for them at the end of the day. Given the results from last week for Fan specifically, they are maybe just a step ahead of Street Devils as the sort of newcomer team. A couple of both of those rosters have people with experience, but for the most part, it's a lot of new players to the Premiership scene as well on these teams for both of them in that regard. So if League of Shadows can handle one of them, what's to say they can't handle the other? That being said, For Fans did do pretty well against Yak's team. That's a pretty powerful project as well for their own part here, but that's not just new players here. There's a lot of French players here as well. The DuMmTm, for example, is I think the key matchup here right now, especially on a map like Gullywash.
Yeah, I mean, Alien and Deli, both also very experienced players in Premiership. We've been seeing them for seasons and seasons now. Anchors for both of their teams, even if they have, some newcomers mixed in. They're going to be probably what their teams have to rally around. And, I mean, as far as these stats go, I'm just having a quick look at them, right?
It's weird because
they're trading blows left and right. There's
what is key to consider here as well? Alien played like a scout as well for quite a while in the early parts of his Premiership time, so that changes things significantly here for sure as well. But Delhi still doing very well for himself in all regards. Either way, being a highly regarded DuMmTm for sure, has been taking a short break there on I think they've won scout in the past, so. It's been a minute since we've seen them around at the very top, but people are getting ready to play. They want to find out who's the top dog. For now, League of Shadows might have 6 points, but we'll see how many points either of these teams have by the end of tonight.
It's going to be an interesting matchup as we're going into our first round of Gullywash of the night. Both teams keen to go, keen to see what they can make happen and how many points they will take home in that second week. Everybody's keen to go for LAN in the summer, and this is the first mid kicking off immediately. Bruchman going in deep, but gets cleaned up by Flick. Everybody's just getting cleaned up, matter of fact, on the side of For Fence here. Just getting dumped on by everybody else from the French, well, not the French team, by the half-French team, as only Jux and RDM remain. They've managed to escape to loss, at the very least. The medic stays alive, and no chasing by any of these players can do it, but oh my lord, League of Shadows are already basically spawn camping them, with mid just now getting capped off. It looks like For Fence
Scar didn't just wait for on the point. I was watching Scar just waddle into lower on the point, waiting to see if he was going to be on point the second he can. But no, he wanted to see if the medic gets baited just a step outside of spawn to get the jump in there, get the Uber advantage going finally. But didn't quite happen. Instead, what we get is Kiwi on Spy trying to be the difference maker here. Maybe save his team some trouble on last, but Spy situations like these, it's just all a matter of like catching people unaware. And who's going to make that happen if not yourself? Scar. Oh, I don't think he saw that. He wanted to pack in river, walked into it, backwards, into the Spy, didn't realize he didn't take the pack at all, and just kept going without any health taken.
Oh my god, QB's bumping some people, Flick just bumped into him as well. Didn't notice whatsoever either. QB is just playing an incredible stealth game right now against easy level AI, and he's actually managed to somehow find his way behind the enemy combo. He decloaks as well, getting it onto June, gets the drop he's looking for. That is a beautiful save. That's gonna save For Fence on his last hold here, because with Scar going down as well, trying to sack into a sentry, it's going to be a pretty easy situation for them to try and push out of all these remaining players in League of Shadows. They're going to have to scatter. Maybe they can catch somebody off, but if For Fence play this cleanly, they should not get caught out here.
No,
that being said, Rouge does die to a little sticky trap by Deli, but it might be just a little sacrifice worth making to get your team out into second, get that cap secured. That's what they're gonna do, and they have that full Uber as well.
Yeah, just a little scare moment there, but that's fine. They got Zoe there, baited forward a tiny bit as well. Slash still holding close on their own part, trying to get some damage, maybe into choke, but the rest of the team far back. Just sitting there near their own choke, trying to get the mat out alive with at least a chance to fall still off the damage they have. But as much as the slow entrance as it is for Forfans, they're still taking the entrance here. Bushman going in already, rest of them taking the slow entry here as well. No casualties just yet. Bushman doing a good job opening up the space here on mid, forcing people back with some spam into choke. Flick taking a whole lot of that, but Alex can't quite find the follow-up there into the choke point. So all good still for Forfans. This went from last back to mid in no time at all here. This is where things will change a little bit though. This is where the even Uber will now make things a little bit more complicated. Oh, not, yeah. Never mind. That's just the bomb from behind them. They're just walking people into choke, wanting them to look at that, and they fell for it immediately. No ice and lower, easiest force of their life. And what are the Frenchies going to do about this now?
Yeah, it's going to be quite scary, because they've turned an Uber advantage and a great push into a very short stalemate that then immediately turns into a very bad situation. They're gonna have to try maybe force June. They do get her to pop early here. It's a very early pop, but is it gonna be enough to really, you know, make do? I mean, they managed to lose only 3, I suppose, and escape now. And still a lot of chasing as well by League of Shadows. They want to try and clean up as much damage as they can here, but it looks like the remaining Frenchies do manage to escape. They do manage to get out to last, try to rebuild, keep RDM alive again. That's very important here if they want to try to hold on. Actually gonna have a bit of an ad now as well with that late Uber effectively coming out of League of Shadows. They're gonna have to slow down their last push here a little bit and actually might give a little bit of time to the Frenchies to set up. They already got level 2 sentry, they got the pyro ready. They're trying to keep it as safe as they can. I mean, spam just gets air blasted away, so they're doing a good job at holding last for now.
All good and cool at the moment. League of Shadows brought us back quite nicely though on our part. Just one nice little force there was all they needed, and suddenly full steam ahead back at least until last. This is going to be an interesting one. Forfans has won this map, notably last week against Yak's team against Venom Crest. So they looked good there. It was a bit of a comeback too, so they have what it takes to win this map here, but for now they got to find once again their way out of a bad situation. No down rounds maybe just yet, but still a bad spot to be in. Once again, a player under could be a problem. Zoe just sneaking around the backline, seeing when the distraction on point play might be ready for everyone else. Or maybe they distract for the point player. You can really play this both ways. For now, it's a lot of spam to Shudder that doesn't quite work as intended necessarily, but that's not so bad as long as the rest of them live here, right? Get the medic back out and just see if you can get some second chances, even with only a 5-minute round time in the season. There's still plenty of time to at least beat the one time.
As it stands, they're not going to try to take any more risks. They're going to try to take it slow and steady. Worst case, you know, we are on the shorter round timers this season, so maybe they just want to go for the reset. Obviously, the Frenchies have basically nothing to lose at this point. They're already holding last, so they'd be very, very lovingly embracing that round reset at this point. Obviously, League of Shadows would not want to give out that opportunity. Looks like they're sending some players down river again. Perhaps they want to go for a little bit more of a distraction play, maybe even just snipe down that sentry, try to just get something happening. Zoe, again, poised to perhaps go under as well, just seeing if they can somehow create an opening here. It's not really much is happening. They're just waiting, Scarred, you know, just spamming an occasional rocket, Slash spamming an occasional rocket, but they're just kind of like scrambling, trying to make something happen. The sentry can't get taken down, Juxta's babysitting it as best as possible. There's a bit of point time now, Zoe does jump on the point. Actually, quite a lot kills Alex as well. That's a lot of cap time that they're going to have to protect the point from now. Just a little bit more aggression on that could be very dangerous for the Frenchies here. They managed to hold off anybody else who could be trying to enter in the meantime. Scar jumps in as the sentry goes down as well, and we have Juxta on the heavy now. Just laying down some damage on Scramblers here. Flick gets taken down in secret, and that might be it with people trying to go for the point. They've locked it down for the time being. And they're not looking like they're going to be pushing anymore on the side of League of Shadows.
Yeah, nice little flare there at the end as well to just round out one more kill. 2 down is at least grounds to try a little bit of a push out here, see what you can get. However, that moment alone in main just gets waddled at by Slash, takes down the countryman. And suddenly it's looking a whole lot worse. Bushman caught as well up top, I imagine. And suddenly, oh boy, this is looking a little spicy on last. No real off-classes right now. The heavy is badly needed here. Quick swap in, but RDM didn't see the stickies coming. Was looking right at it, but didn't realize in time what was coming ahead, and it's just a blue Uber against nothing left standing. And there you go, League of Shadows just in one fellow swoop just completely walks over them.
An absolute wipe on that last there. A quick round, I suppose, a quick first 7-minute round, but obviously that's not going to be the end of it. The Frenchies won't let themselves get down on that one. Surely they're going to be continuing, maybe getting into this next round a little bit better. Maybe this mid is going to go a bit better as opposed to the last one, and maybe they're not going to lose 3 players immediately. Looks like they're going to be a bit slower, taking it a little bit more easily. And the first kill is going to be going to Zoe, killing QB. Scar is going to be picked up on the other side as well as Slesh. That's no scouts now for the side of the Frenchies. Alex taken down as well. Bruchman low and disconnected from the medic, who's also very low. But they've somehow still managed to stay in this. It's 2 scouts versus a soldier and a demo, with heals on either side. And as it stands, the scouts are certainly being quite dangerous and pesky here. Alien taking a lot of damage, having to back up. Bruchman trying to back him up a little bit. Actually, it's a nice rocket onto Zoe.
Oh, it's a nice rocket.
That's got another one to flick. Oh my
picks them
lord.
apart. You'd think the scouts are favored in this fight, not when Bruchman's on board. It just completely dismantles them. And suddenly this is just looking very dire for League of Shadows. They had so much control at the beginning of the mid-fight. They played this aggressive first. You mentioned the first kill was Zoe's, but just because they were the first people to aggressively. Here's the bomb coming through right on target. Gets RDM. Beautiful stuff from Slash. That man's leaving no survivors today.
He's being very dangerous, and that's just going to be a clean-up Uber there out of League of Shadows as well. Actually, June going, look, it's bombed down by Alex and Bruchman. The coordination, Alex just cleaning up everybody. It's only Flick left right now. There's, okay, a bit of backup by Zoe now, and unfortunately Juxta can't 1v2 the scouts, even if they are at half health, but still, just the soldiers coming in at the tail end there, picking up June after the Uber. Still equalizing it and actually making it so they still have a chance. Maybe even contesting mid here. It is 2 scouts they managed to cap, but there's a lot faster spawns coming out for the Frenchies here. They take ground a little bit more quickly. The heals just now arriving for the other team of League of Shadows, but it is enough aggression by the scouts to pressure them back out again.
Yeah, and mind you, the red soldiers that we see do so much work the last few minutes. Those are the Prem DuMmTms alongside the medic here. They just fit right in, it seems, really making themselves at home for now, but didn't quite beat out the spawns. You said they might have gotten there first, but it's just not quite enough there in the end. League of Shadows quick rotation to Victor. The spy as well as a distraction here, and RDM will fall for it much like we've seen the medics fall for the spy before. Beautiful stuff. Just a spy out of nowhere. You wouldn't expect a spy in this game state, but they just gun for it anyway, immediately in there with a play that looks like any other, but the spy really rounds this out. Flick beefing his movement a little bit on the pointer, falls down right into Bruchman's loving arms as they want to use the cross. The soldier and the scout up top have to take the flash now, but not the scout that went down already. They still get Alex. That is something here. That's at least keeping numbers even, but is that enough right now? It's just another mid-fight, really, but it looks like League of Shadows just has more position, and that might just matter enough for them to at least keep point control, if not anything else.
Leave it to the Frenchman to do 2 spy plays onto a medic within 10 minutes of the match, and actually make them work extraordinarily well, as it looks like League of Shadows are taking that aggression forward. They've managed to send in Scar very deep, and Slash for that matter, actually. Slash dying, but, you know, just doing a lot of damage, cleaning up an overextended Alex as well. Bruchman trying to maybe take the high ground here, jump onto June, gets one rocket, gets the other one as well. Beautifully done. Doesn't even die so quickly as to now only be cleaned up by Flick.
They fought themselves so safe in that one too. Alex had the first one, but got spotted so early that it basically was not a concern at all. But clearly, they didn't give up after the first one here. It is a bit rough now, seeing as they need to wait a little bit until they have full numbers as well. But that doesn't stop them from coming in here early. Get Flick right away. Scar from the flank tries to get something here. Top nose, the medic is on the high ground, but can't find the shot. Sees the soldier first, not the medic. Will go down for nothing, and suddenly this is just 4 fans with full steam ahead, maybe? I mean, it's 2 down. Big Uber advantage here. Gotta still play careful for sure. Gotta make sure you don't waddle into a trap that, mind you, is very much there as well. But there's so much cap on the second as well that they're just trying to see if Slash can get there, but not past Kiwi and the soldier that were watching the flank there. Alex helps out with the scout to get that kill, as the rest of the team just has nothing else to worry about on the midpoint. We're heading into our first pause of the game. We'll see what it's all about. It seems like it is League of Shadows calling for the pause. So something went wrong on one of the players, I assume. Can't see anyone lagging, so maybe someone crashed. We'll find out fairly shortly, I assume.
Yeah, they tend to not be that long, these pauses, but beautifully done here by 4 fans, you know, just whittling their way into mid. Now we're going to cap it off, and perhaps even be poised to have... I mean, obviously the pause is in 90 seconds, right? So they still have the Uber. They might even use it to get into second here. It's certainly a good position for them to be in. They have a decent chance of just rolling this forward very aggressively, taking that Uber into second once this unpause goes through. Obviously, we don't know if they did it or not, we are in the past with what we can tell and see, and we don't know when the pause actually happens. Maybe it happened right at the end of a round, right? Maybe it's a tactical one. You never know. Maybe
It always could be.
Maybe League Shadows are like, okay, boys, this is not going right. What the hell is wrong? We just got rolled, and you never know.
Sometimes you just need to shock pause and just figure out what on earth is going wrong when it really comes out of nowhere. Usually those happen like 1 or 2 losses in back-to-back, just to really like take a moment and realize what's happening and what you need to change to go to a tactical pause. Usually not at 1 hour, but you never know what the cause is until we'll get there, I guess, in real time. Pause will happen in-game in a couple seconds here. Scar with some damage into choke, and looks like everyone, as much as they're taking a beating to this one, will be fine. Bootman opens up opportunity up front as well. Lots and lots of spam. Alex from Victor while the soldiers in up front on second. Combine the damage, get the Demo Man, and while not even on last, the Demo Man down is a big risk to take here on the side of League of Shadows. And the point play seems a lot more frightening, and I mean, they're not going to have stickies anymore. It's preventing you from getting in. Heavy is holding this together right now, but is that going to be good enough? They have Scar watching corner. The air blast is actually working, so at least Oddclass is doing a lot of work for League of Shadows.
Yeah, they don't even need people on the point. If you can just destroy anybody that even tries to get close before they can, and it's been working out fine for them now with both teams. Well, you know, equalizing those Ubers, as in the Frenchies wasting theirs, trying to push and not having a chance to really do much. Now League of Shadows, they might be looking to push out. Obviously, going against equal numbers is still risky, but they do have a full Uber if they wish to use it. Naturally, it's a tough sell. It's a tough sell, especially against a full team. Just one little mistake, it's a scout slipping behind. You've got a sentry maybe, but you know, there's probably angles that you can hide it from. Oh yeah, absolutely. So it's gonna be still in the saddle for the Frenchies here. They have to make something happen.
It's Gully last. You have your options. There's plenty of doorways. You have the deep entrance from river. You have the even deeper entry right up to point. Looks like Scar might see that coming. They have eyes on point anyway to see what's going on. Watching these two players try to play the cap, but they're gonna do it anyway. And Juxta just wins the fight. Scar drops down too late, and by the time he did, he just got picked apart mid-air. It is just that easy. All you have to do is stand on point, and you know, maybe also be pretty good on scout. That might help as well. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. You just frag. There's just scout. You just shoot people, and if you're lucky enough and also good enough, you can kill them in 2 to 3 shots and actually win an exchange on the point like that.
And suddenly it's a really, really close game again.
Yeah, that's all it took. We're equalized, and we still have more than half of the map left. It's very much looking like anybody's game. Let's see how this next mid is gonna go underway. Your first step is gonna be QB, cratering to Delhi, just getting ground pounded
just hitting everything this mid fight.
My lord,
from pipe as well.
Unbelievable. Yeah, okay, League of Shadows are definitely taking on this one, and they're actually gonna cut off the remaining French players as well. Pick up Alien and RDM. It is only a sole Juxta. He manages to get Delhi just as a revenge for all the havoc he's caused on the team, but
no. Delhi is stuck here with Juxta, not the other way around. That much is for sure. That was what helped him fight. Delhi just bodied people this mid-fight. Juxta tried to... Oh, not Juxta, sorry. QB tried to, like, rotate with this, like, jump that you can do from the low ground on, like, the little ledge there to the high ground. But, like, the moment he leapt into the air, he just got hit by a sticky and lost all of his movement ability by the first sticky and just got hit by a second one mid-air. That was beautiful by the Demo Man. Nice stuff, and exactly what they needed. They admittedly kind of choked the last round here. So this will get them back in the driver's seat very much. So RDM has only 50%. They have a gun, they have a power. What you need to see on last for sure. Watching carefully what's happening here. Send a player on the point as well to see what's coming under. But the Uber in front of point is what's going to deal the damage now.
It's already in there, very, very deep as well. So much captain point as well. So many players. Nobody there to even contend whatsoever. 3 players died during the Uber. That's going to be an easy, quick push. They didn't even have to kill the sentry. They just ran past it. It was a dead angle. It was not in position to deny any form of ground there. So a very quick one again. League of Shadows showing that they're not to be messed with. You know, they might stumble for a little while. They might call a pause to have a little tactical talk or whatever. Maybe someone was lagging. Maybe that was why they paused in the end. But so far, they're looking dominant again. And as this next mid goes underway, I already see soldiers very low on the side of Frenchies. That's Alex taken care of. That's RDM taken care of, so no heals either for the side of the Frenchies. They're gonna have to try to get onto June, and June's just staying safe, surrounded by 3 teammates. Nobody can get close to them, and the QB's trying, can't get close either, just cleaned up. It's only Alien left, and, well, you might as well catch out somebody if you can, but he's gonna jump away. See if you can just let Deli's there to cut him off as well. The Alien is still alive, he still lives for now. Okay, he's dead.
You were right on though, they like immediately lost players. That was Scar and Slash doing so much damage from the get-go for League of Shadows on this mid-fight. Avoida wants to die, but I mean, if your soldiers die and nothing else, that's still a good mid-fight by all means here. And once again, like the beginning of the game, immediately into last. This time around, a much quicker second cap compared to where they are on last, so they can just use right in, get Flick to point to Uber. Uber will fade a little early here. The soldiers are there to deal damage, get the kill here, make this a lot closer of a fight, and enough people stuck on low ground that the soldiers can in fact just clean up house. Alex already in the hunt into lobbies. He's what's up here. The medic is coming his way, but he's not daring to go through shutout just yet, so that's gonna be what, the soldier in the end here, both of them crashing into each other, but neither of them dying. This is good enough to take a push into second moment. Alien is already on the spawn camps, 2 people still in a fight with Zoe. Will hit the shots there with the pistol while the rest of the team just takes a nice little stroll here. They don't have to worry about anything. Alien just gives them a free 2-for-1 trade to push off.
I did say it might be the anchor for the team, and it turns out right now he's definitely trying to put his team on his back, trying to make stuff happen. That being said, Scar does just get a nice little flank up the drop down. Does manage to pick up Rushman, does finally finds the kill onto RDM as well. There was looking a little shaky for a minute, so never mind Scar, the playmaker for his team. Keeping League Shadows in this, suddenly they find themselves at a big Uber ad here. And they probably don't even have to use June in absolutely no danger. Juxta the only player in to just try and maybe catch something out. But, you know, that's going to be an easy second take. And they're going to be able to roll into last. RDM just now spawning. Going to be able to actually buff up the team. They have a sentry, but they won't be able to hold this very well. I mean, Juxta is still respawning as well. He's probably going to off-class, but really, like, this is going to be really hard for them to hold. Actually, he's just going to stick to Scout? Okay, he's gone Pyro.
Ultimately, they have no choice here. Pyro gun is up. That's as good as it's going to get here. Uber from the River team. Double play under again. Immediately walk over Alex, right? Away, a good start. He find the Devilman in secret as well. And once more, it's just who cares about the gun? We're just sending 2 people under and make sure that no one else can rotate onto point. And that's their game plan, and it's working incredibly well, as simple as it is. The moment something changes in the under area, it might get a lot more complicated, but for now, why change what isn't broken?
It's just a surgical precision injection there, just directly onto the point. Get everybody on the enemy team off of it, and if they can't even get close, how are you going to deny 2 scouts capping it out? And that's been working very well for League of Shadows so far. Let's see how this mid goes for the Frenchies again. Look, not starting off definitely all that well. Deli does go down early though. They managed to pick up Slash as well, but they've already lost RDM. So the heals are not in the favor of the Frenchies. All of the players pretty low as well. Alien trying to go for a Hail Mary, jumping onto the combo, can't hit a single shot onto June. Everybody's just keeping the medic safe, and that's just another easy 1 mid for League of Shadows.
Yeah, so far so good. This was a few moments of boring there at the beginning, but looks like they're back in full swing of things here. Now mostly 2/3 through the game already. Someone's going a little bit too deep for their own good, it seems like they're in River. I don't know where Scar was headed. Maybe under point already? Maybe spamming the gun early, but whatever it was, it did not work. They had eyes on that.
They were ready. They might be losing right now, but they're not stupid. You know, they might be French, but come on, you don't have to go that hard on them. Anyway, they managed to, hold that off for now. Scar obviously being out of the fight as well. It might slow them down a little bit. That being said, League of Shadows are going to use that Uber in. It looks a little bit more a traditional push here as they push into the sentry and manage to trap some people in spawn as well. Take down a couple. No. There's Bruchman just nuked down, and Zoe kills RDM in spawn as well. It's only Alien and Alex below the point, and they're just getting destroyed, mulched in the meat grinder. They find a single kill onto Slash, and that's all they could get.
It is a very much traditional push given how the rest of the game play out. This is just 5 people in this case, right over the gun, right over the pyro, and just immediately get 2 again, go point GG from there. Just no mercy on these at all. League of Shadows just showing that maybe I wasn't so wrong expecting big things from them this season. This is making this look very easy, and it is a match point. First to 5 will win this season, so 4 fans have a mountain to climb now.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for them. Nice little shot there by Slash to trade with Alex, but it's not going to be much for either team so far. And the positioning-wise, this is a lot better for League of Shadows. That being said, they do get nuked on the point. That's June taking down, so no heals for either team now. But the positioning and players are just so much in favor of League of Shadows. Again, Alien, the only survivor, somehow the demo, survives the longest again. He gets chased down as well. And Alex is actually going to be the first one to spawn all the way back. Maybe catch out a little straggling player here, like Scar is very far forward. Yeah, he's going to get cleaned up. But again, a 1 mid for League of Shadows, and they have so much time to work with now. They're up 3 rounds already. They only have to win 1, and they'll have the map. It's that easy.
Yeah, beautiful jumps there as well by Scar at the end to just get the kill going on the Devilman. 5 people into second might still be plenty, especially with only 5 up against them. That Arnold stuck in good position exactly. Flick even keen to take a fight on Lobby that is maybe not the smart one to take 1v1, but he really is confident in taking anyway, and it doesn't go bad at least. He can just leave, in fact. And on even Uber, they know they can't do the same push as they've been doing so far. There is invincibility coming up on the same moment that they have it on both teams now, so once again, it's the Spies left to do the heavy lifting here, it seems, but I don't know, maybe people expected a little bit more this time.
There doesn't appear to be any stickies on the point, so maybe Scar can just go for the cap play here. He's gonna settle
All
for
that.
stabbing Alien and also gets QB. Alright, that's fair enough. That a little 2k for the Spy that'll probably do a lot of work. RDM is just gonna pop the Uber just to try and do something, try to save his team. Obviously, it's way better for June here, and they're gonna chase these remaining players down as best they can. Brugman taken care of, that's Juxta as well, and the people behind the point can't even do anything to deny it. So there you go. League of Shadows are gonna round it out 5-1 very quickly.
Yeah, like I said at the beginning, this was not a bad showing early on from 4Fans, for sure. They kept the 1-0 scoreline going for a while. They got around in the middle of their themselves. But at some point, this team of League of Shadows just really set themselves apart here and really shows that they are, in fact, the ones to contest for the playoff spot here very confidently. And yeah, the moment they got a sign of weakness, the moment they realized what they can do to great effect, they just did it over and over and over. And if you're the ones not being able to adapt at that point, once you're being figured out, it's just game over immediately. And that they take no time after the 2-1.
They stumbled for a bit. Maybe, that's probably what the pause was for. That they were stumbling, maybe somebody lagging. That's all it took to maybe give the Frenchies a chance. But as soon as they had that stuff sorted, it was a roll. It was a boulder rolling down the world's tallest mountain. Nothing can stop it. It is going at terminal velocity, and it was just a massacre. I mean, I'm looking at the logs right now just to see if there's anything really to glean, because people love numbers, But it is a one-sided match.
Yeah, it didn't quite start as one for sure. I mean, so credit to 4Fans where it's due, but League of Shadows just completely figured it out at the end, and that's just how it is sometimes. Sometimes you are not the better team, and that's an error that's hard to swallow sometimes, but that's just how it is sometimes. And for now, it's, yeah, you mentioned, both of us mentioned, I guess, the demo matchup will be very important, and Delhi just dominated it, unfortunately, for Alien. The man has good experience in Premiership for sure. I mean, he's been here pretty much as long as Delhi has, for that matter, just not on Demo Man, and maybe that's the difference maker. At the end of the day, this man just specialized on Demo Man basically his entire life, and it shows. They did all great work here on the blue squad, pretty much all together.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that stands out to me extremely. It's just, good, solid performances, and I mean, 2 Ubers only out of. Okay, I just realized, I just saw that 2 Ubers only out of 4Fans. Jesus.
It was a rough one for RDM.
That's rough.
A couple of rough deaths in there, coupled with just being stuck on disadvantaged last holds half the game as well.
But man,
it's gonna be tough on your logs at the end of the day.
Oh goodness,
it did not help at all.
I've not seen a diff like that in a while. I mean, yeah, it's obviously it's deceptive naturally, but jeez, that's a diff if I've ever seen one. Anyway, time for a completely different map. We're playing Product next.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's strange to see Product this early these days in the season. I think it's like 2 or 3 times in a row now. We've seen it in the first half of the season. Yeah. I don't know, it's weird, but I guess I'm fine with it at the end of the day. I don't know if the players are. You get a little bit of time to, figure yourself out as a team first before the big wrench is being thrown into your way. In fact, Product being very different in game mode and all that will oftentimes lead to upset results because one team is just better at it. And I mean, maybe the Frenchies got this secret ace up their sleeve here, but I don't know. It's like, are League of Shadows slouches on the DM department individually or like as a team? It has not been looking like that at all.
Yeah. Like traditionally, you'd think that even if there's no strategy involved, the DM is usually favoring, like, the favorable on this map, right? The team with the better DM tends to be better just because your scouts can, like, run rampant on the point. You're gonna have, like, a rough time if your DM is just looking shaky. But League of Shadows have been on point today, as far as I've seen on Gully. They were on point already. So this could very well turn into a massacre. But as you said, maybe 4Fans can find their way into this match. Maybe they have a secret technique that only they know about, that they've been honing over the past seasons, and maybe that's going to be the difference maker. Who knows?
All right. On unrelated news here as well, it's a busy first day. Every Prem game this week, aside from the late one on Tuesday, is being played right now today. So I can make the quick advertisement for people watching live. And I guess if you're in the vault as well, just make sure that every week 2 game you're seeing on the vault is happening at the same time here on TFTV 1, 2, and 3. This one. Looks like, no spoilers on the first 2 games here. Week 2 games, Top 5 Rocket against Venom Crest, and New Panther against TF2 Easy on TFTV 1 and 2 respectively. Look both fairly close respectively. The fourth one we aren't streaming. It was a tough choice to see which channel gets which game this week. I settled with this order, and we didn't stream, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you want to view it, over any of these games. Witness Gaming against the Czech team against Street Doubles, which was not close. In fact, spoilers, it is already over.
Oh my god.
After what Witness Gaming was able to perform on Tuesday, I guess it's not entirely surprising against a team that is basically in a very similar position that 4 fences this season.
Yeah, that's,
so I guess, you know, one of the best teams we have up against newcomers is going to be rough for a game in Premiership. That's what you sign up for if you go Premiership, right? You want to fight with the best, you got to see if you can keep up with them, and it's a slow progress sometimes. You're not going to be there at the very beginning.
Yeah, like, someone's always going to be the newcomer. Someone's always going to be, you know, the bottom feeder. It's got to happen. Someone's got to be the worst in the competition, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I mean, 4 fans is still not out of the woods just yet as well, right? They got 3 points, which is big, but they still have 3 doubles left to go as well, and I feel like that will be the most even matchup either of these teams gets overall, potentially. The tie they had already, notwithstanding on 4 fans for sure. But yeah, they're sitting in a similar position where they're just the ones that people might not expect to do great things necessarily, and I mean, it was a rough one here as well. They're being shown the difference that these rosters can just make themselves shown as for the level of play here. League of Shadows making themselves known as the team that's the step ahead of these guys. Already did last week in Street Devils, and do it again this week, it seems. And yeah, 4 fans has to learn quick here. I mean, they were able to sneak 1 win away, but now it's product of a thing. This is a huge change of pace for them. We'll see if it's good enough to make it happen.
They get to try again next week, you know, even if it doesn't work this week.
I'm excited for next week against Street Devils. This is going to be a sick one, actually.
Oh, yeah, that should be, definitely, that should be a very interesting matchup.
Because
I'm surprised.
I feel like both teams know as well. This is the game where you can just guarantee you won't be lost. And that's got to be like a huge factor to want to win that.
I am surprised to hear that TF2 Easy or like to see how they are seemingly struggling a little bit this season. I mean, obviously, Witness, you know, they're a good team, so no shame.
TF2 Easy is always a slow burn, I feel like. They always start weaker at the beginning, both in the season and each match they're playing as well. And by the end of it, they're still looking good either way every single time, so I don't know, I feel like they can still do great things, but they gotta get there, and that's gonna not come easy here for any team right now. Looks like the config has messed up as well. Which is very beautiful. I don't think you can see on stream, but below the timer on at least my game and probably some of the players as well, it has a 30-minute countdown timer that shouldn't be there in King of the Hill. This is no round timer see out than the 3 minutes on the clock for the KOF game mode. We'll see if they figure this one out.
Maybe they will, maybe they won't. It's probably gonna take a round until they realize sometimes, you know, you're so absorbed into your gameplay. Like, they're doing a mid fight right now, and it looks like the League of Shadows are showing they have that DM. I mean, Bruchman is still in, gets a nice little bomb onto the combo, actually gets a couple of players dangerously low as well. And RDM did survive that mid-fight as well. But still, League of Shadows win, and they take the first crap. And
for what it's worth, the config issue might not come up at all if it just doesn't go to 30 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
So just be fast. Just win quick. They did it once before League of Shadows. They're certainly not looking bad here either. A little bit of a forward hold once more, trying to bust through. Immediately on Paro, this plastic is away, blows rockets away. Bushman still gets caught, and Slash is going deep past the Paro to get the force. There's the Paro just lacking for a moment. Jaxter didn't see that coming, and they're gonna not be happy about this force at all.
Yeah, because June still has. They still have a complete full Uber on League of Shadows, and even if they have to hold a bit more passively now, they can easily sweep anybody back off the point here if they just so desire, if they want to use that Uber. Obviously, they got to get RDM with it as well, otherwise it might be a bit disastrous, but just right now, just the sheer presence of that Uber is being respected so much by the Frenchies. They're finally sending in some players. They're going to get the force out of Zoe June here, popping onto the scouts, but like, they still got a couple of kills. RDM did survive, obviously. The sack wave did work out in the favor of the Frenchies, but is it going to be enough? Or are they just going to get forced on the left side again by a forward hold? Because that has been established once more.
Yeah, DuMmTm there with Scout on high ground.
Oh.
The trap is ready. Soldier still jumps through. Tries to get DuMmTm, but that's the counter jump coming. They don't just let them jump the DuMmTm for free. They're going in themselves. The Soldier on the wraparound on spawn as well. Alien might see that one coming, but it's just more coming either way. And RDM is getting caught by Delhi just busting through after the fighting outside of the door on spawn was done and over with. He just doubled down on the fact that there was a soldier rotating into the spawn area, just kept spamming into spawn, gets the medic for it, and for fans is just being completely stopped, dead in their tracks, every single approach.
Yeah, so much for that Uber ad. It is gone once more. June, again, big ad on the side of League of Shadows. Obviously, the sack wave trying to get in from the French. They just want to make something happen here. Any kill will do. June is very low as well. One rocket could have done it. Zoe's going to be the only player to be picked up so far, but at least they busted out of the forward hold. June still doesn't have Uber, so if they move quickly enough, they might actually be able to even do something here. They're going to send Bruchman in. They're going to get some players across the point. There's the Uber out of League of Shadows. They're going to chase everybody back immediately. RDM has already died as well, so no heals there. The Ubers are basically equalized. It's only QB and Juxta, and well, these scouts, they can cause a little bit of havoc, but June gets the pack, and Cupid finally gets cleaned up. It's Juxta behind. He manages to find Slash at the very least, but gets cleaned up as well by Zoe and Scar. So, again, just nothing really seems to work. They just send in whatever they can, but they can't quite fill it to completion with the plans.
DuMmTm going in deep. Soldiers are muscling their way past the spawn door for now on blue, getting in there into the area they want to approach here forwards from point, but it still costs them a player there at the end. Let's see if they can double down on this one here, but you are still up on red team. They forced it pretty early, but at this point, they just need to kill anyone and get them away from point, and Zuba's doing just that already here. No one's anywhere close to point. Then he dies pretty early. Maybe this helps him get to the calf. You just barely get into overtime. This Zuba didn't have quite the targets it needed to really get going, but RDM dying then is just a disaster. They didn't even delay the spawn as well. They were so panicking about getting this overtime at all that they forgot to delay the spawn here, and that's going to be a costly mistake.
Not just that, but they still have a couple players behind causing havoc. Like, they finally cleaned up both Flick and Slash, who were just causing havoc behind. Now the team's all scattered. They don't have Alien either to try and protect this point. They have, you know, not much of a dis-ad. It's actually not much to write home about, considering June wasn't healing for so long. But it's going to be such a tough point to hold. There's already so much aggression out of League of Shadows. They just play their positioning here as well, and they seem to have crits, considering how much they're building on at least the side of Frenchie. So maybe that is how the Ubers have stayed equal, now that I look at it more closely. But is it going to be enough? Are they actually going to be able to make use of it? As everybody's dying, Alex and the Alien are still around. They can't even get to the point to block it, so there it is.
Yeah, very confident showing for League of Shadows so far into map 2. Just half of this game was spent spawn camping, even effectively, right? With the forward holds, they were not given any breaks at all in for fans. Any more of this will not go very long at all. In fact, it would have not mattered if the 30 minutes thing never got fixed, because they would not have gotten there if this continues on. They're changing gears, however, a little bit here. Alex on Sniper. This man can snipe. I've seen that before. This was a while ago when he was in Div 2 all the way back, but talented young man, so I'm expecting good things out of this one, assuming he can have the time to even get the shots off. They're not giving him much freedom at all. Soldiers all over the high ground, knocking him off already here, not getting the kill on that one, but making life difficult all around here. Will, however, work out fairly favorably. The scouts are there to deny the soldiers. They're ready for that one. They know how to play sniper mid, it seems. Just deny the soldiers that try to get the position up top. They're contested. Not a hugely swinging mid fight. They didn't get the medic or anything, but compared to last time, that is a much better start.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're the first to control point for once, so that's already a massive improvement. Now they just have to hold up this re-push by League of Shadows. With the slight Uber ad they have as well, Alex is gonna be the playmaker. He has to hit some shots to really take these players out, because as it stands, as soon as he gets bombed by a soldier, he's basically out of the fight. And all he's pulling out is a soldier who's going behind anyway. That's being said, Zoe and Scar both overextend themselves a little bit, get cleaned up. Slash is in deep as well, tries to get some rockets down, just gets piped. So, again, 3 players down now for League of Shadows. QB chasing back Delhi as well, just to make sure nobody's trying anything silly here. And Frenchies are actually looking a little bit more dominant here, looking a little bit more stable, you know, finally holding themselves a little bit. Bit of a forward hold. They do lose Bruchman instantaneously as soon as League of Shadows breaks through, but, you know, there's an ambition there, and there's the Uber coming out of RDM exchange, obviously, with the other side as well, and shiny players all around. Anybody that isn't shining is getting shot at, and as it stands, it's only when the Uber fades when the cards really fall to the table, and it is League of Shadows with a better positioning. Trying to get some cap time.
So they're still getting them, which I tried to re-aggress there early, but
God.
This is just DuMmTm getting railed weak immediately. QB still doubles down on the flank, gets that kill right and early. They still have the sniper, did get taken down during the Uber, they made sure of that on the red team, but At the end of this all, this is still just the blue team fighting back, even with the sniper trying to go deep. Bushman fairly unsuccessfully so, but it made a lot of space there, all things considered, with the sniper on top of that. That's a lot of hard space to cover, and the moment they try, Alien has the pipes ready just to make this even more impossible. Good stuff all around. Alex hits another snipe. That's just even funny on top of that. That's the benefits of I remember even post-nerf, I suppose. Everyone just doubling down on this though for Red Team. They know what they have to do. This is not good, but they need to see if they can make it better. But everyone's just eating rockets for the medic. No one is getting to RDM. And yeah, you mentioned it already. This is looking much improved for fans. Looked like they maybe needed a little bit of time to really get going on map 2. But they're just making this look like a complete opposite of last round.
Somehow, Alex on the sniper is just this force that is working out for them, even though he's hit like a couple of shots so far. Just the sheer threat of it is good enough. That being said, RDM did just get forced through by of Deli and Slash going in behind. Slash still alive as well. Alex dangerously low. He's not going to be doing much until he gets healed as well. So Slash still behind, causing a little bit of havoc. Brugman is on the chase, so he's going to find them. Probably win that duel if he hits at least one rocket here. Alex is there to clean up. All right, there you go. But that just pulled them back so far now. League of Shadows finally have some time to get onto the point. They have a big add to right home bout as well. Never mind! Alex is just going to headshot June and completely get rid of anything that I've said. And now, suddenly, even if they're bleeding players, RDM is still alive. Flick can't get in either, and French is just still, my lord, they're holding on to this. I mean, they've lost the cap there, but only like 40 seconds off the timer.
Well, you said one thing that's right, at least, which is that even if Alex isn't hitting literally every shot, he's at least hitting some. Couple that
the ones that matter.
Yeah, he's hitting the ones that matter. Couple that with the threat of it all, really just changing the pace of the game. League of Shadows visibly uncomfortable playing around the sniper, and if the opponent's team has a competent one on top of that, it's just making for an awkward matchup for the team now in the bad position here. League of Shadows in this case forced to take initiative, but against the timer, against an Uber Dissad as well. Here's Uber coming in. All this has to do is just get any kills. Matt down early, no heals for the long game. Will there even be a long game? Not without a Devil Man. Everyone's diving at the point. Alien is doing so much damage already. It just takes the rest of the team to clean up the mess. 3 red players left on point, really weak, but they're hitting their shots. There's another snipe coming through. Makes Bushman have a more winnable fight pad, and he's winning it on top of Alex hitting one more. Now he's just hitting everything instead of just the one he needs to. These are just for fun at this point.
He's activated. He's finally warmed up. They're still gonna lose the point in the end, but such a devastating slowdown for them as well. So much time for fans to really like recollect themselves here. They still have a slight add as well. Magniv lost Alex, but he's just gonna come back into the fight. Slash is in behind. He's gonna lay down some damage. He's gonna get met with Brugman. Scar as well, bombing in deep. There's a lot of fighting happening on this cliffside, and it's going either way. It's very chaotic, but League of Shadows come out on top. They do manage to just get that focus fire down. They pick up RDM as well, and now the tide of the game is slowly turning in the favor of League of Shadows.
They're bringing it back slowly but surely, but then over time, this is the tough one. He spawns are so bad. Look at that. Medic sold only spawning now. Pretty much everyone up on blue already as well here. At least the last 2 players have the same spawn with here, thankfully, but any other fight now, and they can afford to just take a DM fight and trade even on the blue team, and they would get away with it with the better spawns alone, really, at this point. Trap behind them is a bit awkward, but they seem to spot that early. Deli just pumps more damage in though, and they're not trading any kills at all. Scar eventually is a casualty, but League of Shadows is activated. They didn't let themselves get quite as stumped by the snipers it might have looked like initially here. Really, really competent pressure on the point. Didn't let anyone get close at all. Once again, though, rough spawns for the soldiers. They're still down for a little bit longer. Who knows how much of a difference that will make, but fans has to take this as much as they can here and make them miss their soldiers dearly.
I mean, they don't have that much time to work with anymore. It's only a minute. June has a full Uber as well, so they're gonna have to get that force off. Or just, like, guide it as well as they can as it comes out. They're gonna find Alien immediately. RDM taking down as well, so no heals for Frenchies here yet again. Only Alex and Juxta left alive. Alex back to the soldier now. They're gonna be trying to put some damage on the point here as well, maybe, but they just can't find the kills on June there, especially the one they were really looking for. Couldn't get it. And yet again, it's just another 30 seconds off the clock. Now fans just have to basically suicide into the point. They have to make something happen. They want to get that point back. If they mess up this fight, it will seal the deal on this round as well. So they gotta make something happen here. They gotta somehow get themselves into this and Just League of Shadows looking very confident right now, holding steady as they can. Juxta running across point, already getting nuked down. He's the first casualty. Alien just getting juggled around. Hits a nice pipe on the Slash, but he's just going to be out of the fight as well. There's a lot of cap time, but as long as League of Shadows just keep one player on, that's all they need to do. Everybody's so low for forefronts as well. It's only Alien and Brucian.
They get the Uber as well, and Uber is just at 65. The second they get more kills right now, they should cover their bases on the bad spawns as well. Nice little air shot as well, but there's two scouts running into the same rocket. Juxta survives, gets one more kill. These faster spawns are mattering so much right now, but red players with the power of the Uber is still getting spawns in as well. It's just becoming another fight, but they're not getting back on point again. A second too late there. Getting volley blocked for just too long. And that's gonna be the round for League of Shadows. This was such a close one. This was 2 minutes of overtime for League of Shadows or something like that. Ridiculous stuff, but they managed to pull through.
Absolutely absurd. It somehow worked out in their favor. And this could already be match point for League of Shadows here. Maybe, if the forefronts continue their dominant performance in the last round and actually round it out, this could very well still go their way. Scar's going to be the first casualty. Getting headshot by Alex. Going to be taken care of. QB's going to be traded out on the other side though, as well as Bruchman. So immediately numbers just falling back in the favor of League of Shadows. They have positioning as well. Deli gets shot dangerously low with that sniper. They have to take care of Alex here. They finally send in Slash to try and do it. There's the rest of the team as well to just pressure back all these remaining French players as best they can. And it's good enough to bully them onto the point, themselves onto the point, I suppose. Alex taken care of as well means now they don't have to worry about June just getting suddenly picked off across the map. And with the Uber up as well, they feel pretty secure in holding this perhaps. Obviously, it's equal as RDM didn't die. And it looks like they're actually going to be re-aggressing with this, trying to make something happen. Perhaps take us into a little bit of an exchange.
Already here, QB really weak. This is going to make it a little bit harder to really stay on point the way they want to, but they're having to double down on this eventually here. Red Uber's coming out, already got Alien Smiley off the beam, really good stuff for League of Shadows. Later with a blue might help, but it's not much of one as well. It really has to be just the sniper immediately getting one post Uber here, but no one's dying just yet. Slash Deli weak. It's not really gonna stop anything at all just yet. Scar going deep, wants the sniper finally out of the equation here. Does not hit the air shot though. That's a nice little kill to get. Slash doubles down on it as well. Really going deep for the attempt there, but everyone else follows suit with the 2. Unfortunately, the medic included in that one. The second that died, they just realized, wait, the beam is right here. We can just do the same thing. Will be a costly one though anyway. It will still cost them all their players, but at least they clawed out even Uber's fort.
At the very, very least, it's gonna keep them in this match in this round.
Oh, didn't see it coming. No.
No, Zoe gets that kill as well.
I think the arrow could have actually gotten the kill. He was like sub 50 or something.
Yes, it was really quite low. It's very unfortunate, and with that, RDM now gonna have a, probably at least like 30% this ad or something before he even gets a chance to heal. Scars up on the spy as well. Manages to get a backstep onto Alex there, so Sniper again taken care of. QB just runs in, equalizes it immediately, kills June. Alright, never mind. Playmakers on either side. But the point is still in control of League of Shadows. QB is still in as well, kills Slash.
Head empty, just DM.
Just go, just hold W, it's all you gotta do. It's been working so fine for now. As if they can keep RDM alive. There's Scar behind still on the spy.
That's worrying. That's gonna be sniper down pretty much for free, but the second he scopes him, he's dead. Right? There's no way around it. He's not going for that. He's just cosplaying as someone going point with the blue team, but they realized at least well enough for that one. That was not gonna work out there. Attempting to cosplay a blue player pushing point. Will not work out. Onto the point play, it keeps going for the blue team. They're still down 1 at least. Bushman did guy as well, so it's even trading here. Nice little snipe, but look at that. Slash fall instantly gets the counter frag. Deli hits everything as well, gets Juxta down one more time. It gives up the cap at the very least, but I mean, maybe they can get it back quickly. The spawns are pretty much up again on blue. This is going to be a rough one. It's gonna be equal as well, as June still has Uber, didn't die at all, right? So it's gonna be a very, very tough one to get in here for. With the better positioning for League of Shadows as well, they're gonna have to make something happen. Forefronts have to make something happen here if they want to stay in this match, if they want to have a chance of taking home product. And they're already not making it happen. They've lost 3 players. Alex is just in behind as well. I mean, he's so far back, he can't even really get an angle. Alien is so low, he gets cleaned up as well. At least RDM survived, but they didn't get anything with that, I guess, sack wave, you could count it. And now with 10 seconds, they have to get onto that point immediately, and the forward hold is going to be so tough to just run past. They have to bully their way into this. Just try to make something happen. June in no danger for so long, finally uses the Uber way later. Way better for League of Shadows. The Uber's already fading for the Frenchies here, and just nobody can get on the point. So that's a 3-0. Great showing by Duke of Shadows here. That was the scary moment with the sniper, and I am interested to see next week if they might play some team that is, with all due respect, better than 4 Fence is at the moment at the map, maybe as a whole, and also play sniper, because that seems like something that could still work out either way, but they managed to overcome it for now. 4Fence couldn't just adapt enough in the end here to really overcome the aggression that they brought forth on League of Shadows. Really competent showing. They struggled and pulled through on both maps, which is very worthwhile and very worth commending here for League of Shadows. And yeah, well-deserved 6 points this week. They're gonna continue sitting up high the bracket for now.
They're gonna be tied with Witness still. I guess it might even remain that. Who knows? It might even remain that way until those two teams head off. So we'll never know. I mean, if you want to look at logs, there's some numbers here, right? And it shows a similar story to Goalie Wash. You know, one team is quite a little bit more dominant than the other one. And again, 4Fence putting up a great fight, like at the midpoint, but then just like not keeping up the momentum, just not enough stamina to keep up
the
that
whole adaptability thing is just huge on both maps, right? League of Shadows both times struggled at various points through both maps, but managed to just figure out ways around it. And pass the sniper, I guess, in this case, most notably as well, because by all means, Alex did a decent job with the sniper class in the vacuum, as well as everyone else, especially initially, did. Protecting him at the beginning there, they really gave the soldier a run for the money to actually get to the sniper at all. And they had a rough time actually staying out of the sniper sideline initially, too. But both maps, they just managed to figure out what's going wrong. Maybe the pause really helped with that one on map 1 as well. But no matter how much time you take there in the end to get there, as long as you get there, as long as the game's running, that's good enough. And 4Fence just don't quite have that quality yet, with, I guess, a much newer roster. Maybe not entirely unsurprising necessarily, but for what it's worth, the good that was there was really nice, I will say. This, feels like empty praise, seeing as they didn't get any points. They didn't get any rounds this map. They only got a single one last map as well, but there was still a decent bit of good stuff in there for them as well to, see why that worked compared to other stuff, what didn't work as well. This seems like exactly the kind of game you want to learn from.
Yeah, I mean, like, even if they ended up effectively getting rolled on both maps, for the few, minutes, a third of each map, right, when it wasn't a roll, they were looking really, really solid. They were looking dominant on that second round of product. They were looking pretty good in that round they won on goalie. They were in the driver's seat for a bit. And I think if they just figure out the stamina, if they figure out, keeping that up and maybe readapting, obviously League of Shadows adapted wonderfully, splendidly to what was going wrong. If 4Fence can figure that out as well, if they can figure out, okay, our new strategy that worked for a while isn't working, now we got to try something else. If they can, develop stuff like that as a team, I can see them doing well. And these French teams tend to stick together, so.
Yeah, and I mean, the important games are still coming for them, right? We talked about it already. Yeah. Next week, 4Fence has 3 Devils up against them, stuck now with them somewhere in the lower ends of the table for the time being. But as Will said, one of these teams ahead of the other, probably until the end of the season, unless one of them gets another funny upset somewhere along the way, which you never know. But that just makes a huge difference already to get at least 6 there, maybe even just 4 to be ahead of them at 1 point or something like that. Doesn't matter as long as you get more than them, that's just huge already. On the other hand, League of Shadows obviously will continue being a top contender, I assume, at this point into it still, and they will have to just fight up their ranks against the French gauntlet waiting against them here. They might have some of them of their own, but there's 6 Frenchies waiting for them next week. Top 5 Rocket Ball means a powerful roster as well. I think playing still right now as well. Who knows how that's going, but no easy feat to beat those guys either. That's all powerful names, like Frem winners included on the roster even, so you gotta watch out for those guys for sure on top 5 Rocket. And that's going to be a tough one for them. I'm excited for that one. A good week 3 coming up here. We have New Pants against Witness. That should be very interesting too. Those guys are doing well there on both teams. And Team 2 against Venom Crest, which will really show if Venom Crest can make a real run for playoffs.
Yeah, if they can hang with the top players here. This looks like a very interesting season, especially when you consider, I think most people coming out of the woodworks, most of this competition coming out of the woodworks because everybody's getting ready for LAN and stuff like that as well. But these pre-LAN seasons, I've missed them over the past few years, but there's competition this season. I mean, obviously, right now, at least Witness, they look dominant, but you never know how long they can hold it up. You never know if TF2 find their stride and, become a good contender as well as they have in previous seasons. It's looking like a massive season ahead of us, honestly. I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. With that, we're signing out here now. It looks like both games on Team Fortress TV and Team Fortress TV 2 are still going, so make sure to tune in there. I think we'll host one of those channels for you as well. That is Venom Crest against Top 5 Rock and TFTV 1, and TFTV 2 has TF2 Easy and New Panther fighting it out as well there. See you next time.